Hey guys, what's going on? It's Al. It is midweek. We're in the middle of week 6, and we're going to go over the Thursday night football DraftKings single game showdown. The tournaments that they have out there are tremendous, just like on every one of these island games on Thursday nights and Monday nights, and that's what I like to put out videos for you guys. I kind of skipped the Sunday night football game, but Thursday night football and Monday night football have the bigger tournaments, more money up top. Those are the slates we have to win. We did very well on Monday night. I was looking at everybody in the Discord and people were going crazy. We had one of our mods take down second place for $10K in a tournament. A couple other people did really well on the primetime slate, and a couple people did really well on that slate, mostly because Traquan Smith absolutely smashed it. We're going to see if there's a little bit of value on this Thursday night game between the Philadelphia Eagles and New York Giants. If you guys have liked this content, I really appreciate it if you will drop a like on this video. Let's shoot for like 750 likes on this video. Drop a subscribe on the channel. Make sure you ring that notifications bell. I come out with a lot of NFL content throughout the week, and I want to make sure that you know when it's posted so you can come and watch it, and leave me a note down there in the comments and let me know what you think or how you're doing. Let's get right to the video. It's enough of the intro. Enough already. All right, we're going to go player by player just like we do on all these. Carson Wentz, back for 3 games. Took that first game, was a little bit slower, I guess, and then back to his normal 2 touchdowns, multiple touchdowns every single game. Squaring off against the Giants. Yes, they have one cornerback that I'm worried about in Janoris Jenkins, but like worried about is in quotes, right? Like he's solid, but like he's not a game breaker. He's not somebody who's going to shut down half the field like Deion Sanders did in his prime or anything like that. Carson Wentz is going to score his points. I think that he's perfectly fine and one of the highest projected raw total guys on this slate. Definitely captain worthy if you're looking to go that route with a quarterback. Odell Beckham Jr., somebody else that we have to consider, especially with cornerback being the biggest weakness for these Philadelphia Eagles. And we've seen them get kind of thrashed on the outside in their last few games. Odell Beckham Jr. is big a game-breaking wide receiver as there is in the league. We've talked multiple times on the Daily Fantasy Edge. It's become a meme at this point that Odell Beckham could be having a bad game, then he takes a 6-yard slant and goes 60 yards to the house, and all that the defensive backs see is his heels and his elbows. Right? So heels and elbows here is most certainly in play for me. I think he's captain worthy, but I would rather have him as a captain in a tournament lineup than in a cash game lineup because I want to try to pile up as many touches as I can. My captains that I had the most of on Monday Night Football were Drew Brees. I had some Traquan Smith because he provided a lot of value. And then I had some Thomas and Kamara as well. So obviously a couple of those didn't work out for tournaments, but like that's why you want those guys in your tournament lineups for your captain as opposed to the high volume guys for your captain spot in your cash games. Now, speaking of a high volume guy, Saquon Barkley, basically getting 20 touches or more as often as they can get him to him. Obviously didn't against New Orleans, didn't against Carolina, and I'm kind of worried about him being able to get that many carries against Philadelphia. They are at home. They don't have a good offensive line, the New York Giants, and Philadelphia very stout up front. Their front 4 and their linebacking core is extremely good. Giants offensive line extremely bad. But if he is not able to get it done on the ground, they will be utilizing him through the air, as you can see by the tremendous amount of targets that he's gotten. DraftKings is full PPR. So if he catches 6 balls like he did against New Orleans, that's essentially a touchdown. And he's scored at least 1 touchdown in each of the past 3 games. They definitely look to get him involved in the red zone and inside the 5-yard line. So Saquon Barkley's volume is something that I'm not concerned with. I do like him as a captain, and he comes at a bit of a discount from somebody like Wentz and a little bit more of a discount from somebody like Odell Beckham Jr. Now, Eli Manning, yeah, I think it's okay to go with him in tournaments. Probably not somebody that I want in cash. Zach Ertz, definitely a cash game play for me this week. You guys show me another wide receiver that's got, double-digit targets in each one of their first 5 games, and I'll show you a wide receiver I want to play every week, and now you've got one at tight end. I know that this is an all flex position slate on the showdowns, but like how many wide receivers do we get that are priced at this range? He's got probably the best floor of all the pass catchers on this single game showdown, but just based on the volume that he's going to get, right? And you can't take a tight end out of the game, again, air quotes, or you can't really like take a tight end completely out. We've seen teams do it in the past. Not that I think that the Giants have the manpower to do that. But like Aqib Talib, when he was on the Broncos, used to get put on Gronk. Jalen Ramsey spent some time on Rob Gronkowski trying to take that tight end out if a team has weaker wide receivers. But Philadelphia's got a couple of really talented wide receivers as well. Zach Ertz just gets the most volume of all of them, giving him the highest floor of all the pass catchers. Alshon Jeffrey's back. He's got consistent targets, and he's going to be a red zone target as well for Ertz. Or not for Ertz, but for Wentz. If he's a direction you want to go, definitely not a captain for me, but somebody I'm going to try and squeeze into my team. Shepard, I'm interested more in if Ingram is still out. He's a good play, but not an amazing play if Ingram is there. If Ingram is out, then I like Shepard a whole lot more. Same goes for their backup tight end, Red Ellison, questionable himself, non-participant in Monday's practice. Wendell Smallwood's the guy that could break the slate. He's 3,800. If you put him in your captain, I think he's 5,700. With Jay Ajayi going out, they priced this slate. It was out on on Monday night. Yeah, that's about when it came out. Monday afternoon, Monday night. So the pricing was already done. By the time that Jay Ajayi came back from the doctor's office and said, "Oh, I'm done for the year." So now Wendell Smallwood is going to see a lot more volume. He's priced for somebody that gets this amount of volume, maybe 8 or 9 touches. I don't think he's going to all of a sudden be a 25 touch running back. So let's get that out of the way real quick, right? He's not somebody who you're going to get, oh yeah, he's going to be a bell cow now. He's going to get 20 carries and 8 targets a game. That's not going to happen. That's not what the Philadelphia Eagles do. If Darren Sproles is back, we're going to have to monitor this as the week goes on. That's going to cut into his work. And Corey Clement also going to be somebody that gets a lot of work as well. He is coming off of an injury for a couple of weeks. I think that Clement and Smallwood are going to split the carries and split the touches pretty evenly. If you look at week 3 against Indy, when Sproles was out and Ajayi was out, right? So he had that many touches. Smallwood had against Indy 13 touches. I think that's kind of what we're going to see. But Smallwood has looked like the better back the entire way through. Again, we're going to monitor Clement throughout the week. We're going to monitor Sproles throughout the week. But in terms of captain, I think that this might be your most popular captain on the slate because of what he's going to allow you to fit in. You can just go bink, bink. You can go plink. You can go bam. And then you find a cheapie, right? So that's going to be a way that people are going to go. Maybe Shelton Gibson in there who's been getting at least a little bit of work. And if you get more than one catch out of him or something. But there's other ways you can go as well. You know, if you want to go with one kicker, they've priced this down after the way that okay, let me organize my thoughts for a second. Coming in out of the preseason, it was pretty standard to just play 2 kickers, right? Play the highest projected guy in the captain spot, right? So like Wentz or Beckham, right? And then slam 2 kickers, Elliott and where the hell's the other kicker? Is their kicker hurt? Who's gonna kick? Okay, whatever. So they've done a good thing to me, or just a kicker and a defense, right? So go with them and then go with that. And then that allowed you to kind of put in all the other volume guys that you wanted to put in, right? I still think it's somewhat viable, but I think it's less so because of the way that they've fixed the pricing on these slates, right? So like if you were to plug in Smallwood, and then that would leave you 11K, you could go Beckham, you can go Ertz or Barkley. And you have yourself a good lineup. You could even improve one of these, right? You take Elliott out, and then you got 4,600. Evan Ingram, Sproles, Clement, whatever, right? They've fixed the pricing. And I like how they fixed it because the kickers are a high floor option, but they don't really have a ceiling unless they kick 3 50-yard field goals in a game, really, right? So with the pricing on these slates, they've priced down the second to third tier guys. The top tier guys have been priced way up now. Where earlier in the year, like a guy like Barkley would have been 9,500 and Beckham would have been 9,800 and Wentz would have been like 10,200, something like that. They've priced up the top tier. They've left this massive gap in the middle with all the backup quarterbacks, right? Because those were super cheap around Baker Mayfield week. They've priced them up, which always leaves a gap between the second tier, which is here, 9,600 to 7,000, and then the third tier guys, which are kind of grouped just above the kickers, right? So now it doesn't make as much sense at this point to go with double kicker as it did earlier in the year. So now, for cash, I'm not really playing kickers at all. Where weeks 1, 2, 3, and going into 4, that was at least my starting point. So now I'm looking for the value, right? So I want the value play. So you can go with, let's say, Zach Ertz is your captain. If you feel that he's going to get in there, all these guys are priced pretty similarly at captain spot. You want to have a quarterback. Can we plug Carson Wentz? Can we go with Odell Beckham? I think he's a more of a must, more of a need than a want. I think we plug Smallwood in at 3,800. He is kicker priced. You can go with Goddard if you want. Since J-Matt's been back, he's getting a little bit of work, but not a lot. Kamar Aiken, no work. You know, like you're not getting a ton of work out of the super cheap guys. Where'd he go? How about Shep? How about the other Shepherd? Listed as limited. He's seen increased snaps, seen increased workload. No, Siri, I don't want your... Siri thought that I was trying to increase her snaps. No. No, Siri. Right? So if we plug Shepard in at 800, that leaves us 86. You can get Alshon Jeffrey in there with that one. But I think that the most common lineup build, the one that we're going to see the most, and this is pretty much a very straightforward slate, guys. I think we're going to see that. I think you got to go with Wentz. He's a must. He's a must. He's a must. Now I have 6,100. I can go a couple of ways. You can go Barkley in a cheapie, 1,900 or less. You can go Aguilar and a 5,000 player if Ingram's going to play. I think that he's fine. But I think that this right here is going to be the most common starting four. I don't think there's much more to it. Sometimes it just lines up. And this one just kind of looks like it's lining up. I want one of those 4 players in my captain spot, most likely Smallwood, because he allows me the most upside. We're going to have to monitor Clement. We're going to have to monitor Sproles as the week goes on. But that's pretty much going to do it. Thank you guys very much for joining once again. I appreciate you being here. If you're still here at this point in the video, appreciate it. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button. I want to see you again. Here's one more video for you to watch. And we'll be back later in the week on Friday for the question and answer. Bye, everybody.